Hello, this is Ben from Elliott Wave. How's it going? Here's a weekly update on Bitcoin. Today, we're not only going to take a look at Bitcoin, we're also going to do a roundup with Ethereum, Polkadot, and Solana, as we are approaching Christmas, and I wanted to give you a little present. So, as always here, we are still looking at the same count we've been looking for in the previous updates. If you haven't watched them, I highly recommend to do so. I also take a look at the hour degree count, as well as the different alternates. For the sake of this video today, we're just going to take a look at the main count, which is the one you're looking at right now, a bottom in place with cycle degree wave 4, and then we are looking at a potential 1, 2, and 3. Now, first thing first, if we zoom in, we're on the daily chart, as you can see. Let me delete this. So if we zoom in, we see a potential 1 and 2, and then upside into wave 3. Now, usual target, or at least zone of resistance, in this case as we're going up, is equality of potential wave 3 against 1. I said it also in the previous video. Equality, as you can see here, stands slightly above $50,000. What does it mean? It means that it's highly possible that if we get up there, we might see major resistance. Not only because we have equality, but 50 is a psychological level. I do expect a lot of orders to be around that area. Now, if we take a look at this specific move up, we see how it looks just one push to the upside. It's just one wave, one up move just by itself. So what I'm trying to say is you don't really see something like this where you're not sure whether it's 3 or 5, you just see a straight up move. And we also see that the angle of ascent is pretty steep, as you can see here, which potentially could signify that we are indeed in a third wave. Now, as I said in one of the previous videos, cannot know for sure if this is wave 3 and we are near a top, or else this is wave 1 of 3, pull back in 3, potentially go back to around 30,000, and then resume higher. So that being said, I'm going to take you to the 4-hour chart. So let's take a look at the intraday. And here we're looking at a potential 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, up for wave 3 of minor degree. And it looks like we could have completed wave 4 of minor degree. I say so because we see what seems to be a 3-wave move. Now we see all 4 did not break previous level of wave A, meaning that this could be a running flat, and the fact that we have broken to the upside previous wave B top could signify that we are resuming higher. As a matter of fact, if we take a look at volume here, we can see how we do have increasing volume on this up move, which means that if we are moving higher, we're doing so with volume, and that's usually bullish. And as you can see here as well, on to wave B, we were correcting with lower volume. So that usually signifies that the volume is indeed suggesting that we are still in a bull market. Now, the alternate for this count really are that either we are still in some sort of wave, complex wave B, sideways wave B, resume lower, wave 4 is not finished. However, given the magnitude of this wave 2, if we do get something like this, that obviously would be more time consuming and deeper in terms of price, then I would start to change my mind about this count, and at that point we could see further downside back here around 38 to 35,000, and that could be some sort of a wave 1 and 2, so that we could switch to a more bullish scenario, or else wave 3 of intermediate degree, which I don't think so as of right now. I don't really see that playing out. But again, preferred count, main count for the time being is that we do have a bottom in place and we are resuming higher to, again, 50,000. Now, for reference, I want to show you two things. One is the Nasdaq, which, as you probably know, they tend to move together. They're not the same asset, so they're not going to move exactly the same. However, there is some degree of correlation. And if we take a look at the Nasdaq and I take you to the daily, here on the channel, we have been looking for some sort of wave 1, 2, and then again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, as you can see here, it's pretty clear on the daily as well. We see up, down, up. It looks like we might have finished pulling back, and then I am expecting one more high. Where? Well, if we take a look, as you can see here already on the chart, equality wave 5 of minor degree and 1, which is very common target for wave 5, stands at 17,000. So ideally, 17,000 is going to be the target, but we were indeed expecting, as you can also verify on my previous Nasdaq update, resistance at $16,800. So again, basically here, it confirms what I've just said, that we are looking for a 1, 2, 3, wave 4 finished. This obviously would be in validation level, and then one more tiny up move into wave 5. It would make sense, obviously, given the length of this wave 1, for wave 3 to be the shorter than 1, and obviously if this is wave 3, wave 5 must be shorter, because obviously wave 3 cannot be the shortest wave. Before we switch on to Ethereum, Polkadot and Solana. Now, again, when it comes to Bitcoin, we see increasing inflows to exchanges rather than outflows. So again, last 12 hours, whales have deposited, as you can see here, $644 million worth of Bitcoin, whereas they have withdrawn 323 millions worth of Bitcoin from exchanges. So again, inflows are greater than outflows. Therefore, the fact that we are looking for an imminent top makes sense, which is what we've been doing here on the channel for a few weeks. And again, that when it comes to other waves, basically translate to the count that we're looking at, a wave 5. But what I think is very interesting, as you can see here, basically the outflows of Bitcoin in the last 12 hours has been basically half of what the inflows has been. But if we take a look at Ethereum and XRP, now we're not going to take a look at XRP count today, but we're going to take a look at Ethereum's count, and you can see how in the last 12 hours still the inflows was 9.5 millions and the outflows was 45 millions. What does it mean? Again, same thing as Bitcoin. People have withdrawn $45,000 worth of Ethereum, and they have deposited $9 million worth of Ethereum, which again, if you're not familiar, we cannot know for sure if they ended up selling or buying. But what we do know is that people have deposited 9.5 million worth of ETH into exchanges, and that usually when that happens, it means that they are getting ready to sell. However, the amount of people that withdrawn Ethereum from exchanges, which is what usually people do when they want to put cryptos into their wallet. So, and obviously you do that if you want to hold that particular crypto, has been over 4 times the amount of inflows. So that tells us that potentially people they don't want to sell Ethereum, and that could actually, that is quite a bullish sign. And on XRP, you see how it's even more significant, the difference between inflows and outflows. So that being said, a little advertisement here. Still me, Elliott Wave. If you enjoy what you've seen so far, please consider subscribing if you don't want to miss out on weekly updates I bring to the channel. And if you want to stay up to date to all the accounts that I bring to everyone, I would highly recommend you join the Discord. It's completely free. You can find me there. You can ask me questions, show me your accounts, get my feedback, and vice versa. Now, let's take a look at Ethereum's count. So, I haven't really done much work on Ethereum, to be honest. But if we take a look at the weekly count, we are seeing a 1, 2, potential 1, 2 at least, 1, 2, 3, 4. So, I have been for quite some time debating whether this wave 4 was in place or not. As I said, that we could have had some sort of a sideways wave 4. Now, given what we've seen in inflows and outflows from whales, we could expect upside, major upside. So if we are expecting major upside, then this count is what should play out. And in order for this count to play out, we need acceleration to the upside soon, and we need it fast. So far so good. We have been moving higher, pretty much a straight line, which is not something you see often in the markets, but obviously we need to accelerate higher in quite the significant manner. And again, that's what whales movement seem to be suggesting. If that's not the case, we could most likely again still be in some sort of wave 4, consolidate, and then eventually explode higher. That's what I see. Again, this seems to me like a 3-wave move. Happy to know what you think about it, but 3 waves a trend don't make. Therefore, I still see the trend to be bullish. A look at Polkadot now. We have been looking for a potential A, B, and C. Now, I'm gonna have to be honest. It's not easy to count this type of cryptos. It's not like Bitcoin. It's, in my opinion, much more complicated. And the reason why I don't cover it a lot on the channel, because being so complicated, there's much more margin for error, and I don't want to put out things when I don't feel confident. Even though I make mistakes, everyone makes mistakes. My count can be wrong many times, even though most of the times they proven to be correct. But obviously, everyone can make a mistake, including myself. So that being said, what I see off of this bottom is a potential 5-wave move to the upside. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, I have this count here, as you can see, basically what I just said. And we found support first on $5, then on 6.5. Now we're looking for $8 target. And ideally, and it looks like something that could happen, we should be getting all the way up to $10. Now, given the fact that, as you can see here, wave 3 was slightly shorter than wave 1, therefore wave 3 cannot be the shortest, meaning that wave 5 must be shorter than 3. And equality stands at $10.15, so we could expect resistance, major resistance, slightly below $10, which is also what we would expect to see around such a large number. Here, a 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Basically, similar count to what we were looking at Bitcoin. Again, same direction, but obviously different count, different waves. So that's what I see for Polkadot. Now, if we do manage to get a 5-wave move to the upside, if we do manage to pull back in 3, ideally, this is the area where I would like to see support. If that happens, we could expect a bounce higher, and at that point we could turn even more bullish and look for trades. Now, on to the last one for today, which is Solana. Solana has been seeing tremendous gains over the past weeks. Now, I want to be conservative here on Solana. As you can see, I have been looking at the possibility of a 5-wave move from the $250 top, and I have been seeing this as a 3-wave move. Now, this is a conservative count. Can we be more bullish? Yes. Could this be a bottom in place? Yes, it is possible, specifically because what you see here is that every impulse wave, so 3, 5, and 1, they are all very similar in length, which is something that usually doesn't happen. You want to see one wave being more extended than the other. So that could signify that this indeed is corrective in nature, and this could be impulsive. So that being said, as you can see here, equality of C against A would have been $60, where we did find resistance, but then we continue higher. And 1.618 stands at 130. So obviously next target, next major level is $100. However, what if, and we have a bottom in place here. So this is some sort of wave 2 or B. And then we have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. Now let's don't mind the degree. I just want to show you what one of the alternate I think could be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of 1 lesser degree. So 1, 2, 1, 2, upside into wave 3. At $100, we could see a potential pullback into wave 4 and then further upside. So basically, just to sum it up, Solana next target would be $100 on Polkadot, $10 on Bitcoin, 50. They're all looking for the same direction upside. We are aware that major resistance could come in place soon. However, the counts all seem to be bullish for the time being. Are we going to get a pullback? Most likely we will. Is it going to be larger than any pullbacks we've seen in the past weeks? Yes, it is possible. That's what we're forecasting. But if that happens and the pullback proves to be bullish corrective, we can expect further upside in the future. Let me know in the comments what you think about the counts. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and I hope to see you soon in the channel and on the Discord. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.